Hello everybody and welcome back to Dusty Cove. So today what we're going to be doing is a bit of harvesting later on, hopefully, providing the wet crop icon disappears. What we're waiting for basically is the wind and the sun to dry out the cornfields. They're ready to harvest and we do need them as a matter of urgency for the pigs for the 50% base food. So in the meantime, because obviously we can't harvest when it's wet, what we're going to do is go over to the BGA. I have actually been setting a few things up off screen. I've already got the wheel loader over there and we're going to begin selling some of it through the anaerobic digester. So yeah, while we're there, I'm just going to discuss a few things. Now what I've done is I've just moved the chaff across from this one to the other side because obviously when I compacted it before and then covered it over, some of it spilt out. So that's going to be now compacted again and put through the other pit. But what I really wanted to talk to you about really is that this is pretty much the final episode on Dusty Cove. I say that saying pretty much because it actually isn't as such. There is one more episode, but I don't know if it's going to be called episode 26 or day 26. This is 25, and the reason why I want to finish it now really is because we're coming to the end anyway, and 25 is a good rounding off number, whereas 26 isn't. So we are going to be returning probably in a week or two to do the poplar harvest, because obviously we've been going through quite a bit of effort getting field number 11 all done, and it would be a shame just to finish it saying, right, that's it, we're not going to sell anything, we're not going to harvest anything, and that's going to be it. So yeah, we will be returning for one more episode in the future, but that will be in a couple of weeks time, or possibly next week, I'm not too sure just yet. You may then ask the question, what about the harvesting? We're going to do some today. We're going to do the corn harvest in one of the fields, possibly two, and then we can at least give the pigs their base food crop, I suppose we should call it. Now that's going to be carried over to the next map, so that isn't all for nothing. You may think, so you've gone the entire series without having any base food for the pigs, and then in the final episode you give it to them. That's all good though. Like I say, it'll be carried across. So yeah, I think that is pretty much all I wanted to say. This is just a good finishing time really. It's been an amazing map, but at the same time I don't want to keep repeating the jobs with the harvesting because there's a lot of harvesting to do, which will be done, but off screen, after this main series. In fact, between this episode and the wood chips, which we're going to be doing from the poplars. But yeah, I think really we've seen enough combine harvesting to last a lifetime. I'm getting stuck on that chaff, I can't believe it. We're going to have to move it. It's like a speed bump. This thing should have more power. The JCB would have been better, but it would have cost more money. And just to give you an idea of profits and such, this really needs to produce a minimum of about £10,000 to make a profit. That's easily done. In fact, we've probably already done it. So yes, we're already making profit on this fermented silage. It's always a very good thing to do, even though the prices have been changed considerably since FS15. I'm just waiting for that wet crop icon to go. As soon as it does do, we're going to jump into the combine, grab the lease header, which is actually at the store at the moment. It's actually much bigger than the other one as well. I think it's a 12-metre header, which is a little bit ridiculous, but because it folds up, it means that we can actually have it on a farm of this size. If it didn't fold up, it would be mayhem and totally unrealistic for this farm. Now I think this is probably a good time for me to say please leave some feedback. First of all, what do you think of Dusty Cove in general, the map? I don't want to influence your thoughts, but I'm just going to tell you mine. I think it's a brilliant map, I think it's very well made. I don't think I've seen any glitches with the exception of the trough over at the pigs, and that isn't necessarily the map. That could be a conflict between two other mods. So yes, it's obviously very well made, and I just want to thank the creator for giving me permission to actually do a let's play on it. It does mean a lot to me. And also hopefully it has promoted the map as well. Now my second thing which I wanted to ask was, what are your thoughts on my series on Dusty Cove? Has it been good in the aspect that it's been semi-realistic. I've tried to be as realistic as possible, but I still do a few things wrong. Such as, at the moment in fact, we're out of the cab view. But that's just because it's so much easier. Now I know that isn't an excuse in real life, but you just don't really appreciate the gameplay as much, I don't think, if you're in cab the entire time. Like at the moment, you obviously feel like you're in a cab, which is nice, but you can't really see much. But yeah, just post down below what you thought of the series. Would you like to see another one like it? Or would you prefer it if I went back to how I used to be? Just messing about generally. Now, yes, I have just thought of something. The upcoming schedule for the new Let's Plays is going to be different to what it is currently. What we're going to do is have multiplayer as a regular thing. Yes, multiplayer is back for good. But, and there's always a but, everybody loves the but, it's going to be 1 day a week only. The exact same way that I've been doing it before. So it'll open up at a certain time on a Sunday. Now I'm not saying it's always going to be between 5 and 6 PM, because that's obviously disadvantaging quite a few countries. Most importantly, I would say countries such as New Zealand, Australia, but obviously all the countries down there in that time zone are very important. It's just I think that's where most of the people are who actually watch my videos. Not that they mean more to me though than the smaller countries. It's just they're the ones who have complained in the past that I open the server at a really inconvenient time. I think it's like 3 in the morning or something. I'm not too sure. So yeah, it's going to be hopefully some weeks at a different time. However, the problem is even on a Sunday I'm busy working, so 5 and 6 in the evening is sort of my time to record a video. So it's tricky. It is tricky because I've never mentioned this before, but YouTube isn't my job. It just isn't. I know a lot of people will probably think, what? It's not your job? No, I do have another job. So yeah, basically fitting it all in together is pretty tough. I think you've probably seen enough of this now. We've gone backwards and forwards for quite some time, so I'm going to see you. Oh, I'm going to see you in the combine because the crop is dry. We'll do this later off screen. I'm going to jump into this tractor because what we need to do is go and get the red rock trailer, which I have dumped somewhere and forgotten where it is. I think I put it back in the yard, so that should be all good. That's unrealistic. Need to keep the console down and towards us. Right, off we go. So for once we're going to have some base food for the pigs. They're going to love it. Productivity will be up by 50%. Oh, actually, I've just thought about something. What we could do actually, instead of trying to hunt for the red rock trailer, despite me thinking it's in the yard, is we could just pick up the Marston trailer, which I know for a fact is in the pig farm. The bean field. Oh, we're going to miss the bean harvest. That is a shame, actually. That is a bit of a shame. Okay, maybe we will do the bean harvest as well in the final episode. Maybe. In fact, that's another thing you can post down below. Do you want to see the bean harvest? If you don't, then that's fine, I'll just do it all off screen. But if you do, then yeah, we'll cover that. So it should be in this shed on my... Here we go. This is a challenge. Left. I think it's in here. It'll be the other shed. Oh no, it is in here. Great stuff. I should have opened that door before. It's a small trailer with stuff in it. I'll try and empty it, hopefully they'll take it. Brilliant. They took it all. So what I really need to do now is crack on, because what we've got to do first, before we can even start, is drive the combine over to the store, pick up the header, and then bring it all the way back to field number 1, which is one of our cornfields, and then we can begin. But that's going to take some time, because it's 1 o'clock now. I don't think we'll start until about 3. Luckily though, the forecast is just for sunshine and nothing else. Well, there is the field. We've got the cover crop. Well, I should say, what do you call it? Game crop, yeah. It's for basically just the wild birds and also pheasants and such. These sunflowers, so that's not going to be touched. We're just going to go for the maize or the corn, which is just here. So let me just turn the engine off on the tractor. And we'll run over to the combine, which I did just put around the corner. I took the header off first thing this morning in the torrential rain. Never seen it so wet. So, yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's 1:30. I think it'll take an hour and a half to drive down to the shop, get it all attached and everything, and then drive it back. These mirrors aren't facing in the best direction. Has that snow melted yet? Oh, it has. You would hope so when it's mid-autumn. Mid-autumn and the snow hasn't melted from the spring. Yeah, that would be a little bit crazy. Yeah, Seasons is very well made. It all works out very well. Okay, traffic is going to be fun. Okay, that's all good. No traffic. What's going on? Well, I'm sure it won't be too long until we see some traffic. I'm not sure where it is though. That is very quiet. It's definitely switched on. Because I turned it on in the previous episode and I've not touched it since. Let's go in cab view. Come on, traffic. Not that I want it, it's just concerning. Ah, there we go. Now for the fun part, getting around the roundabout. It's fine if nobody pulls out in front of you. The roads are deserted. There's nobody even up there. Oh, there we go. Traffic lights and a car. Yeah, the car wasn't going to pull over. Well, there's the header. Let's get it attached. Big header. We should be able to get this done in a very short period of time, which I'm pleased about, because the sooner the pigs have their food, the faster they're going to reproduce and stuff. Looking good. A little bit crazy though, but we can be a bit crazy in the final episode. Here we are. So we've got one more month, I suppose we should call it, to do the harvest. So that's what I'll do it in when this episode is finished and everything. And then yeah, things should be totally different for episode 26, if it's going to be called that. But I don't think it will be. I think it'll be called the grand finale or something. Let's try and squeeze through here. I may have to try to find an alternative route. That's all good. Here we are in the field. Let's get started. This should be a very good crop. Wait for it to unfold. Come on. Time is pressing on. Okay, that's weird. That is very weird. I'm sure it was ready. That could be a total fail. Let me just see. Where are we looking? Just here. I'm sure it's ready. Oh, look at that. Only the sunflowers. Field 42, field 30. Okay, well that's all good. What we'll do then is we'll go to bed and we will just finish off this field. We're definitely doing this field today, or in this episode. And yeah, we'll get it done in the next day. Well, here we are again. Obviously we've had to just wait a little bit for the sun to come out and everything for it to dry out a bit, but we should now be able to do this field. I didn't think we'd have to wait another night, but we did. So let's get cracking. Looks like the sunflowers were planted at a bit of a funny angle. Strange that, because I think it was a worker that did it. Oh, I remember what happened. Yeah, they went up, and then they came back down, but then I stopped them just there, because I took over. But I must have changed the crop type before getting to the end. Oh, aren't I silly? But I think you get the idea of what I'm doing here. It's just like a cover crop kind of a thing. It's not something that gets cultivated in. I call it a cover crop, what I actually mean is a game crop. For birds and stuff. Already 44% full. We're going to get a lot out of this. And it's going to go straight into the feed trough, but knowing these pigs, they're desperate for it now, but they're not even going to require probably more than 4,000 litres or so. So no doubt we've already got way too much. But the rest can be sold for the next map, so or at least it can be carried across, I suppose, in storage. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll carry it across. The auger is out and ready. The combine has still got 7% remaining. 5% remaining. The tank is getting very full. And that will do nicely. 10,000 litres. I'm going to jump out, run over to the tractor, bring it over. Can't get through the sunflowers though. There we go. Right. The JCB is in case we spill anything. We can scoop it up. Now I think actually that a longer auger is an option on this combine harvester. We could have chosen it, but I just wasn't expecting to have a 12-metre header. But you've got to admit, it does the job very quickly. Continue. But yeah, I think that this is going to be finished very, very soon. I don't think we'll get more than 2 trailer loads out of it. Wow, look at the forecast. It's actually going to snow tomorrow. We really do have to rush with this harvest. So yes, when we do the final episode of the poplar harvesting, it's going to be done in the snow. It'll feel very wintry. And the final piece we need to just finish off here. The trailer is full, and it looks like everything else is going to fit into the combine very nicely. So yeah, what we're going to do is just take the trailer, tip out what we require, and then we'll finish the episode there. But after that, I'll come back here, I'll empty it into the trailer from the combine, and we're just going to take it over to the storage point, and it can just stay there really until we move on. And it should just appear in the farm store over on the west coast. Right, there we go. All good. So if I switch it off, we will jump out, get into the tractor, and the pigs are going to be very, very happy. Here we are at the pig farm. I think that driving down to the pig's trough forwards instead of reversing does seem to be better. Possibly why it glitched before. Wow, that trough is looking empty. Here you go, pigs. Oh, don't tell me it's not going to work. Why? Why won't it work? Oh, just there. There. Strange. Enjoy. Enjoy your corn. So, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. The pigs are taking the entire trailer load. Fair enough. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Until then though, bye for now.